I thought,
Ah, I remembered. Yes. Okay. So,
yay.
going over what we learned. So we talked. I reminded you about Morgan's exercise. We learned about how sugar affects our energy, our mood, and our overall health. We went over strategies on how to overcome sugar. And then yesterday we read food labels. Did you find that helpful at all?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay,
I was
good.
reading labels this morning.
Girl, that is so good. Is it I like when I first started doing it the way I do it now, like it was just like boom, like so eye-opening for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we also talked about the names of different sugars, which I had a day, so I am gonna send you everything by tomorrow. I know I want to send you guys a list of all the different names of sugars. I feel like that's super important because there's so many of them, and
Mhm.
you know, food industry they try to like sneak it in there. So I
Yeah.
want to make sure everybody has that. So I'll get that over to you. So let's get into today's workshop. I'm really excited about this because it's one thing to learn it's one thing to learn a thing, and then it's something else to make it sustainable and make it like a lifelong thing and just part of our lifestyle. And
Mhm.
so the first thing that we're going to talk about is handling setbacks. That was huge for me. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, okay, I got to change my eating habits. And then I would like go right back to what I was originally doing. Right. So, how many of us have been on that healthy train? We get on the healthy train and then we get off on the next stop. Right. That was for sure me. Not once or twice, but many, many times.
Yeah.
Um, and sugar cravings, they don't disappear overnight. And that's what we have to, remember. Sometimes we can get frustrated because we're like, oh, how come I'm not over this yet? Why do I still get these cravings? But just keep in mind, it's not an overnight thing. It does take time. And sometimes life throws challenges our way, and we'll have holidays or stressful days or family events, or even sometimes we're bored or just not feeling great. And a lot of times that's our go-to is the sugar. And so the key is not perfection, but it's having a plan. Because when we have a plan, it's easier to sustain what we're trying to change, right?
Mhm.
So let's talk about setbacks, because this is one of those things that we all go through. So do me a favor, I want you to write these things down because this is something that I want you to be able to refer back to in the future because it's so, so important. Because we all go through these things, and I want to make sure that you have like something that you can like refer back to and be like, okay, no, this is my plan and this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
All right. So instead of seeing a setback as failure, we need to look at it as a learning opportunity. So we need to ask ourselves, like, what is triggering this craving? And then how can I handle it differently next time? Because if we mess up one time, that doesn't like negate everything that we've already done, right? All the progress that we've made already, whether it's one day or 6 weeks. If we eat something that we know we shouldn't have eaten, doesn't mean that everything that we've done already it gets thrown out the window. It's a progression. It's not being perfect all the time. So one of the things is having like a plan, like a comeback plan. So if you do indulge in sugar for whatever reason, don't let it spiral into that all or nothing mentality. I used to do that all the time. Like, I think I did it on purpose sometimes, but I would be like, well, I already messed up. I might as well just eat the whole bag. Am I the only one or anybody else here that's happened to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's so easy to fall into that mentality. So we need to have a plan so that we can reset, so that when we do eat the thing that then we're like, oh, why did I do that? We can have a drink of water, a glass of water, especially with a pinch of Celtic sea salt. I mentioned that the other day. that is my go-to, and that will help me each and every time. You can have like a protein rich meal, or just some protein, just like maybe a piece of chicken or an egg or some turkey with cheese or something like that. Move your body. So if you do eat that thing, move your body, because that's going to help your blood sugar stabilize, like keep somewhat level, right? It's not going to stay nice and flat because you ate the thing, but you can prevent it from spiking, from doing that roller coaster. So if you eat something that you felt you should not have, do like 10 squats, because our legs have the biggest muscle in our body. So doing some type of leg exercise is going to force our body to use the glucose that just went in. So that's a little hack. So even if like you're in a restaurant and you do the dessert or you have the pasta, whatever it is, um, do like what is it called? Calf raises. So if this is your foot, just lift. Wait, let me do it. I don't know. Okay, let's say this is the back of your foot here, because I can't do it that way. Just lift the heel of your foot up and down, and it's going to force your calf muscles to contract, and that's going to force the glucose to get in. So that's a little hack. So I'm not saying that, you can do this and your sugar's never going to spike, but it is a little hack so that it doesn't spike as much. And you are getting, you're using some of that glucose instead of it sitting there where then the insulin has to take it someplace else. So another thing is to, let's prepare for those events. So as I just mentioned, sometimes it's a holiday or birthday or whatever it is. You're going to a barbecue. You want to eat before you go to the event so that you curb those cravings. Um, well, let me see. Calf raises, yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Morgan, she's correct. She was saying yes, it's called calf raises for the high glucose, yes. Okay, so tell me if this was you guys. So this is something I always did. I mean, since as far back as I can remember, if I was going to a party or an event and I knew that there was going to be food there, I wouldn't eat. So like let's say it was a I don't know, 7 o'clock event. So that's like way past dinner time for me. I just wouldn't eat dinner. So now I get to this event and I'm starving. And then I'm just like eating all the things. So these are the things that we need to plan for. So if you have, especially when it's like Christmas and New Year's and those holidays where it starts kind of late, plan for it. So what I do now is I'll still eat my dinner at my regular time, and then I'll go to the event. And then if I want to eat something there, I will, if I feel like it. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. It just depends how I feel, how much I've eaten. I usually just bring a dessert with me so that I can have dessert there also. And, it's not something that's just like loaded with sugar, especially because most of the time it's going to be a little bit later and I don't want to eat something so sweet very late at night. So another way that I plan is I bring my own dessert. So I can I talked about the other day that I used to put out peanut butter cookies at a barbecue. And so I did that for a while, and wherever I go, I bring my own dessert. Like I could be going on a plane someplace else. I bring my cookies with me because I like to have dessert and I don't want to eat the desserts that are available because they're filled with sugar. And then I know that I'm not going to feel good after eating it. So I like to plan ahead. Um, so those are the two things that I do. And then also, if you can have someone that you can trust, like a buddy that you can check in with, it could be a family member, a friend, but make sure that you choose the right person, right? You don't want to choose someone that's going to encourage you to do the thing you don't want to do. You want to choose someone that's going to remind you of how far you've come so that you don't, oh, I'm sorry, my computer's very wobbly right now because it's on something different. But you want to choose someone that is going to remind you of how far you've come, and try to keep you on track, right? Because that's what we need. It's so funny because I have a friend and she'll come to me if she wants a certain kind of advice. And like if she needs someone to rile her up, she's gonna go to the other friend. She doesn't come to me because she knows I'm not gonna do that for her. So you gotta pick who you're gonna go to for that, right? And then we also want to practice self-compassion. We talked about this the other day when we were talking about how our body puts the fat around our belly so that it's not putting it in places like our heart. And we have to remember that our body is so smart and it wants to do the right thing at all times. So we need to be kind to it, right? We have to have self compassion, no negative self talk. Throw that out the window. We're not doing that, right? Because that can lead to emotional eating. Anyone experience that when they're feeling, um, they've like, you're like feeling down on yourself and then you end up, oh, oh, I missed somebody. Sorry. Yes, the peanut butter cookies. Yes, I will give you the recipe. Anyone ever like talk down to themselves like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my thighs or my stomach or this or that. And then that actually leads you to eating the things we don't want to eat, right? Yep. Yes. Yes. I'm saying yes and yes. Yeah. So welcome, Eddie. So yeah, so these are the things that we want to be mindful of, and we don't want to do the self negative talk. We want to praise ourselves. We want to remind ourselves what a good job we have done, whether it's with just one small step that we took. Be proud of yourself for that. We need to lift ourselves up and leave the negative talk in the garbage. And also, you want to say, what can I do differently next time? That's important. We need to learn from our mistakes. Um, because this is an ongoing journey. This is not something that's, like I said earlier, it's not going to happen overnight. It's an ongoing journey. And so when we do make mistakes, we need to think about it, use it as a learning experience, and say, how can I change this the next time? What can I do differently next time? So for me, when I spoke about going to these events and, not eating until I got there, and then I'm like starving, that's what I started doing differently. I started eating at my regular time, whether, even if they were going to have this extravagant meal, I still had my dinner. And then if I decided I did want to have something there, I would. But I wasn't going to overindulge because I wasn't starving at that point. I was satisfied already. So that was just like a little icing on the cake when I got there. Right. And then using non-food rewards. So when we are stressed or, our emotions trigger our cravings, we need to find alternative ways to soothe ourselves. So it can be deep breathing. Think about what Morgan taught us on Tuesday. We can do that interrupt. We can do meditation. We can take a walk. Walks are so great. Walks help me all the time, all the time. I could be happy, I'm going on a walk. Sad, I'm going on a walk. Tired, I'm going on a walk. Like I use the walk for everything. So that's a good way to relieve yourself of whatever it is that you're going through instead of going for the cookie or whatever else you shouldn't be eating that you're craving. Also, listening to music, whatever your favorite kind of music is, that's also a good way. And does anyone have anything that they already do that they would like to share? Any way that they release that craving, like if they feel that craving, they do something else to like release it from their body before they go and have something that they shouldn't be eating? Anybody have any other things that they do besides what I mentioned? Oh, me, right? So sleepy. This is Morgan. So sleepy from dinner and going on a walk to bring my blood sugar back. Yay! Very good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I love walking. I cannot stress it enough. I really love walking. And then this is also something that's really, really good to do. Revisit your why. So, like, whether it's on your vision board or your journal, you should have it somewhere where you can go back and look at it, or you have it up somewhere, because you always want to remind yourself of why you started the journey. Write down how great you feel when you nourish your body properly, so that when you're having these cravings, you're going to go back and say, no, I'm going to have this nourishing meal because when I eat that, it makes me feel so good. And this is how it makes me feel. And even writing down when you're eating something that you shouldn't be eating, write down how that makes you feel. You feel sluggish, you have brain fog, you're bloating. Write those things down so that you can remind yourself of why you don't want to eat those things. Let's go to our workbook for a minute. And I want to take a minute. I want you to take a minute and write something down. I want you to think about, and this is in your workbook, think about a situation where you might feel tempted to consume sugar. All right, so think about that situation right now. Whatever it is, it could be something that has happened in the past. It could be just something that you make up. But I want you to think about that, and I want you to write down what triggers that temptation. What triggers it? Like for me, one of the things is tiredness. When I'm tired, I automatically want to go for a snack. Like that's a big thing for me. And then, how do you usually respond to setbacks? So you eat something that you know you shouldn't eat or that you don't want to eat, but you do it anyway. How do you usually respond? So for me, going back a few years, like I shared with you guys earlier, for me, it would be like, oh, forget it. I'm just going to eat the whole bag or the whole box or whatever it was because I messed up already. That's how I used to handle it. And that's what a lot of us go through, right? Because we just get stuck in this mindset like, oh, forget it. It's over. It's too late. I already did it. I messed up. Too late. I'll try again next month. Okay. Thank you, Morgan. And Eddie, I can also send it to you later on. I can email it to you if that doesn't work. I see it's a long link. Hopefully it works. And if you guys want to come off mute and, share something, please feel, oh, sorry. I thought I put that on mute. Change this now. So guys, I got really inventive today. I'm in a different place today and I didn't have my light and I'm using my phone as a light. Okay, go ahead.
I say the light looks good.
Thank you. Because it was so dark in here that I looked really grainy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need a light. What am I going to do? And I was like, oh, let me use my phone. And it worked.
Yeah, I think for me, when I get like stressed, because I'm a caregiver to two parents right now,
Mm,
it can just be stressful with going to doctor's appointments, helping with finances, food, all that stuff. So then sometimes I'm like, well, just forget it. Let's just go to McDonald's or Wendy's real quick and so I think it's just trying to do the prep work a little better so I don't, head over there to McDonald's.
yes. So your time is very valuable. So my sister-in-law is a caretaker for my mother-in-law. So I understand Kelly, because I see her from afar, all she does, and the stress that's involved with that. So it's not just the appointments and all that stuff, but it's also just making sure that they're okay in the house, making sure like for her, it's like she's not falling, things like that. I know it could be very stressful.
Yeah.
So for you, Kelly, that is exactly it. You definitely need to plan ahead because it's so easy when we're in like that time crunch or we're running here, there to just grab that cookie, go through that drive-through. It's so easy because that's what's quick, that's what's going to get us through that day. So for you, um, prepping ahead of time and just being prepared, having those snacks on hand so you can just grab and go, is really, really important.
Yes.
So that's actually what I was going to ask you guys. So first, write down one strategy that you learned about overcoming setbacks. So what we was just talking about a few minutes ago, the different ways that we can overcome these setbacks. What's one of them that you learned that you think that you can implement? Or something that they have already implemented? Do you have something that you've already implemented that you would like to share? Don't be, yeah, very good, Kelly. Don't beat yourself up. Yeah. But that goes back to the, that negative self-talk. We don't want to do that. We end up causing like this, circle. We beat ourselves up, we go for the snack, we beat ourselves up, we go for the snack, and then it's just this never-ending circle, and it just grows and grows. So we have to put a stop to it now and cut the circle so that we can get it all together and start implementing all these things that we're learning. And then just remember that setbacks, what we just said a few minutes ago, they're learning opportunities, not failures. So I want you guys to write that down somewhere. Setbacks are learning opportunities and not failures. Because that's really, really super important that we don't, because if we look at it as a failure, we're going to go down that rabbit hole and then we're just going to go backwards. So we want to make sure that we use each one as a learning opportunity. And remember that it is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a journey. It's ongoing. So one setback, it's okay. You can just learn from it and keep going forward. All right. Before we continue, does anyone have any questions? Awesome. All right, let's talk about building a daily routine. So, morning habit. I feel like the morning habit is so important. It's something that helps me the most. So, when I feel like I do my morning routine, not only do I feel better, but I keep it going throughout the day. So it helps me just stay in the flow of things for the whole day. So what's one thing that you can do each morning to set yourself up for a successful day? Can anyone share?
Yeah, one thing that I've started doing is I don't pick up my phone right away. And that's it. I just make myself not pick up my phone and just lay there and look around and just have a moment to myself. And it was really, really hard to do that.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, you're not the first one that has said that. I've heard it before, and people say that it's like the best thing that they started doing. It really helps them a lot. And I can see why, but it is hard. I still can't do it. Maybe that has to be one of my next milestone. Try to not look at my phone first thing in the morning. That's a good one. Anyone
Just
else?
start at like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I actually, you know what I do? I look at my phone first. I look at the time. Then I put it down for maybe a minute. And then I pick it back up and I'm like, all right, let me check my text messages. All right, nobody's texting me. Put it back down. Just another minute. And then I pick it back up. I'm like, all right, let me check the schedule. Like, I'm like back and forth with it, but I really need to just not pick it up for a couple of minutes, not just 1 minute. A few, maybe I should start with 3 minutes. We'll see how that goes. Oh, Ale likes to do stretches in bed. Oh, I like that. And not like, not that kind of morning stretch, right? That's nice. Yeah, stretches in bed. That's good. So I like to have bone broth in the morning, especially in the winter. I like to have bone broth. That really sets me up for the day. And then I like to do apple cider vinegar before my first meal. So when I do those things, it really sets me up. I enjoy them. But I don't, especially in the summer, I really don't do the bone broth. But then I get to walk more, so I get to get out earlier because it's nice already in the morning. So morning routines, yeah, that's really, really important. So everyone, you guys should write down something that you want to start as a, for your morning routine. What's one thing that you would like to implement?
With the apple cider, do you put anything with it, or you do like a shot, or how much do you do?
So I do a glass, like a regular glass of water, a tall glass, and I'll do like 2 tablespoons in there.
Okay.
And then I just sip on it as I'm making whatever I'm gonna eat. And then by the time that's ready, I'm done with it. And if I'm in a rush, I'll do a smaller glass with 1 tablespoon.
Mhm.
If if I'm gonna like be leaving or like I forgot and I'm already getting closer to eating, something like that.
Okay.
And if you're gonna do a shot, just make sure that you have you're available to clean your teeth after, like you're not in the street because you have to clean your teeth if you're having a shot because it can mess up your teeth.
Okay.
The bone broth first thing. Oh, so Morgan, you heard about people having bone broth first thing in the morning?
Yeah, can you remind us what the benefits of that are? I remember someone being so excited telling me that, and it just like changed her whole world. Why do you take bone broth first thing in the morning?
So I'll drink so I do it like I'm not a coffee or tea person, so I'll do the bone broth. So just like a cup, like instead of a cup of coffee, I'll do a cup of bone broth. And it's good for so many things. So it's filled with vitamins, nutrients, collagen. So I don't do collagen pills, I'll do the bone broth instead. Um, so collagen, so anything with your skin, your nails. And if you are one that likes that warm, like I know someone, she's can't give up her coffee and she says it's just because she likes to have something warm to drink. So bone broth is really good. It's just filled with vitamins and minerals, like a lot. And the collagen, which is a great bonus. I do make it myself though. I don't buy it. But there are a couple of clean brands that do, yeah. I'm gonna read that in a second. So there are a couple of brands that do they make the bone broth and they do it like in flavors. I've never tried it, but there are a couple of clean brands. So if you don't want to make it, there are ways that you can still buy it and have it. So Eddie said that I need to take my thyroid, I'm assuming you meant medicine, thyroid medicine. So I always have to wait 30 minutes, then walk my dog, then eat my first meal. Eggs and avocado, that sets me for the day. That's a great first meal. Really, really good first meal. Yeah. Yeah. And don't be afraid of eggs. I'll eat like 4 eggs at a time with no problem. Yeah. Don't be afraid of eggs. Eggs are really good for us. Yeah. So Eddie, I don't think you were here in the beginning, but do you have hypo or hyper?
Can I talk? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, you can
Can,
talk.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, well, you know what? When Morgan, like, she reminded me, I had this on my, I'm so sorry I missed the other day. Anyway, I saw it and I was driving back. I had a meeting I had to go to and I saw it. And so I actually was listening to everything as I was driving, but I wasn't looking at I was being safe, but that's why you didn't hear me. But now
That's
I'm
fine.
home. So I just pulled up to the front of the door. Yeah, it's hypo. So I have
Mhm.
to wait 30 minutes. So that's when I try to, I'll take her for a walk. I live up in the Northeast, so it's really been cold. So they've been quick walks. But
Yeah, yeah. I
to,
live in Northeast also. I get it.
and I don't know if it's just like something I'm doing now with the avocado. I've been doing it for a long time, but I swear if I have an avocado a day, I just feel so much better. And even if I miss it, like say, and I try to plan them out so they'll be ripe, so when I buy them. And
Yeah.
if I like just run out and like maybe I'm a day off, like honestly, I really feel the difference. And I don't know if it's psychological, but I really do. Like I feel like that avocado and the egg, it must be very good for my blood sugar because
Yes,
it
it is.
keeps me really stable. Like I don't get that feeling, like that just that, I have to tell you guys, so when I was driving home, I had to pass the Dairy Queen and, and I
You
was
stop?
I didn't stop, but as I was passing the Dairy Queen, I thought, well, it's a good thing I'm listening to these guys. it might it might have happened. I'm not sure.
Very good. Very good. So I also had thyroid disease, but I had hyper. Um, but I had hyper, but I was gaining weight. They say it's the skinny one, but no, not for me.
Oh,
Yeah, so no, I do understand that. I do understand that. And yeah, you need to look into different foods for specifically for thyroid disease. So the eggs and avocado are wonderful. Bone broth is really good for you too. So you should definitely try it. Um,
do you make your own, or is there a brand that you recommend? Because you see so much, like on Instagram and a different, like Facebook, or you see so
mhm,
many brands, and you don't
yeah.
know,
I
or do
just
you
use
just make
my
it?
own.
You
It's
do?
yeah, it's so easy. I just get a whole chicken. It's I just get a pasture-raised chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And I fill up the pot with water, put it in. I put a whole onion, two whole garlics,
Mm-hmm.
and then I let it simmer for like 6, 7 hours. That's it.
And
And
then do you strain it when you're done?
nope. I
Like,
just take out the chicken. I do take out, I take the chicken out. I take out the onions and the garlic. I don't chop up the onions and garlics. I put it in whole.
oh,
Take them out, and then I pour the broth into little mason jars, and I freeze it, and then I take one at a time out. And then the chicken, I use it to eat.
oh, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's the best. It's clean. You know exactly what's in it, right? So you know they're not putting anything in it. You don't have to worry about looking at ingredients and all that stuff. So,
Okay, so you
and
said, say it again, chicken, onion,
I don't
and
hear you, Kelly. Say it again.
oh, okay. So you said chicken, onion, garlic.
Yep, that's it.
Now, is that good for like I just found out well, it's been sort of a month's journey here, but I just got a diagnosis and I've been on that's another thing. So I can't take my to wait 30 minutes after I eat. I have to wait 30 minutes and then I have to take prednisone. And I know it's not good, but it's the only thing right now that's working to help me feel better. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune. I mean, I have Hashimoto's, so I guess you know what I mean. So I just found out after all the blood work and everything. So my goal is I'm going to do the conventional medicine. Not going to go crazy, but I'm learning all the things I can do to support my immune system and the
Mhm.
inflammation. So I'm trying to learn like what foods trigger it, what all
Right.
this stuff. Like
Yeah,
you sort of knew a little bit, but now like it's the rubber meets the road.
right. Now you have to now it's implementation. Now it's just,
Exactly.
it's not knowledge anymore. You know, now you have to actually do the thing. But for you, definitely, you want to start with sugar. You want to remove sugar from your diet, and you want to remove seed oils. So any vegetable, canola, sunflower, any of those oils, you want to take them out. And when you do, you're gonna see that that eliminates a lot of food from your diet. Because if you're eating anything packaged, it's gonna have canola, vegetable oil, or soybean oil, or all those inflammatory oils. So you want to stick to just olive, avocado, or coconut oil. That's it.
Now, when you when you read labels and it says soy lecithin, right? Like it's an emulsion, like it keeps, like say in a
Emulsifier. Uh-huh.
pre-packaged, it might be in cookies, it might be in, I can't, but it would definitely be like not like right off the shelf, like clean eating. When you just, it's a pre-boxed something and you see on that ingredients soy lecithin, is that still like, is that like, is soy in general something you should stay away from?
Yes, unless it's an organic soy, like a soybean, an organic soybean. You don't want like the soy lectin and all that stuff. You don't want that.
Okay.
All is saying, I have Hashimoto's too, and I started my meds at 150. I'm now down to 75. Yeah, diet and exercise makes a huge difference. It sure does.
Because I'm at like I was 125, then it went to 137.5, and now I'm at 150. So we'll see. Like, we'll see. Like, and it's not like I was eating like crazy before, but I mean, I can't say that I was eating really like
So
clean either. So
I shared this a little bit yesterday, and guys, you're never gonna believe this, but I forgot to hit record yesterday, and I did not record yesterday's session. But I shared this a little bit yesterday. I thought that I had a good diet. I wasn't eating any junk food. I was like, okay, I don't need ice cream anymore every single day of the week. My snack was a chocolate covered almond, which I'm like, I'm eating almonds, I'm doing good. But no, I didn't read the ingredients. I wasn't reading what's in the stuff that I was eating. And that's where we go wrong, because the food industry, they want to make everything look healthy. It says organic, it says gluten-free. That doesn't mean that it's good for us. They're still putting a lot of chemicals in there, and those chemicals are what's causing all these imbalances, which is why we end up with thyroid disease, autoimmune diseases. So it's really important to read the labels and read what you're eating. So if you remove seed oils from your diet, like vegetable, canola, all those oils, start reading your labels. You're going to see most things that we eat have those seed oils in it.
now I have to say that Morgan was very instrumental in really ridding like the whole house of any seed oils. I have to say she's like, that's very good. Like, like I learned that from her. And
Good.
you know yeah, like even just reading the labels, if you are going to like buy something prepackaged like chips,
Mm.
like or whatever, just to try to read and get the best one. Morgan, can you hear me? Can she hear me?
Yeah.
Anyway, Morgan has an app, and she, I think, she like can put like the app onto the ingredients thing or something, and
Oh, yeah. So there's two of them. There's Bobby Approved. And Kelly, you can write this down if you don't know these apps already. One is Bobby Approved and one is the Yuka app, the Yuka app. When you scanned it, when you scan the item, it'll tell you, it's like, I use the Bobby app, it'll tell you thumbs up or thumbs down. And that means it's clean or not clean. So use those apps. It makes grocery shopping a little bit easier because you can just go scan. When I first started, I was scanning even things I wasn't interested in. I was scanning everything, just so you get an idea. And then if it says thumbs down or it says a no or whatever, it actually tells you why. And then you can Bobby Approved. and then you make the decision. So one of my clients was using the Bobby app, and Bobby approved, and she scanned something and it gave a thumbs down. And the reason was because of the milk, because it wasn't organic. I think the milk wasn't organic, if I remember correctly. And she wasn't bothered by that. So she still purchased the item, which is why I like that, because it tells you exactly why they're giving it that rating. And then you can make your own decision if it's something that you want to stay away from, so you don't get it. If it's something you're fine with eating, then you can still get it. So I love those apps. Yeah.
What was the other one? Is it BOBBIE or BOBBY?
Oh, let me tell you 1 second. Let me see if I have it here.
Because I see BOBBY.
It's like the icon is green with a thumb on it, like a
Yeah.
thumbs up.
I see it here. BOBBY approved.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
Bobby.
the other one said,
The other one is YUCA, I believe, and it's like, I think it has like a carrot on it or something like that.
okay.
Can you type them in the chat? Sorry. Yeah, so it's Yuka and Bobby approved. Oh, thanks, Morgan. You beat me to it. Yeah. So you definitely, yeah. So I mean, we went over reading labels yesterday. I'm gonna try to do another video, kind of like what we did yesterday. Unfortunately, we don't have all your great feedback, but at least people can see how to read the labels, and I'll send that over to you, Eddie, once I do it, probably tomorrow. Because it's really important that we know what we're putting in our body, especially when we're dealing with autoimmune diseases. That's a big one. That's a really big one. You know, and it's not only what we're eating, but what we're putting on our skin also. That's
Boy.
really big.
It's
So
tough having to be so aware. It's like it's easier when you don't have to really like,
Yeah.
be so aware, but that's silly too. Like that's just
What
makes it easy.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss. Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah. Until you have to go on the medication. And then no.
No, absolutely. And I don't want to take up anybody's time on it, but it was such a frightening experience to have, like, it was just like something took over my body. Could barely dress myself. I could barely get off the toilet. I could barely roll over in bed. I didn't know what in the world was happening to me. So it's been a couple months of really very scary. Not that I thought I was going to die, to be honest with you. Sometimes I thought, if this is life, that's fun. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just to know now what it is, and it's not the worst of the worst, but it is what it is. And now I need to really be um, just much more proactive and really understanding what I'm putting in. I guess I thought about calories, or you think about sugar, or you think about, but I really wasn't thinking about how does this affect how I feel. Do you know what I mean? Like if I eat this cookie, am I going to be able to get up out of the chair without being in pain? That's a little different than worrying about if am I going to get fat.
Right.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like just thinking that you're vulnerable and that you might need, and I'm older than you guys. And so all of a sudden, like, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, what is this? Is this what being old's like? Is this, because I didn't have that before.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking now, oh, well, if I eat that, would it make me fat? Honestly, I think, like, how's that going to affect my inflammation? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's how I think of it also. That's how today I had something it was like a potato croquette, and I was like, I probably shouldn't do it because I don't know, what they cooked it in, because obviously it's oil. I'm sure they used like a vegetable oil. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I did it. We'll see what happens tomorrow, how I wake up. Because that's what I think about. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wake up with inflammation tomorrow. And so sometimes I do it. Most of the time I don't do it. But every once in a while I do it. But I think about those same things. Like, how is this going to affect my body? And, you know, what happens is this is like years of accumulation in our body. This is not something that happens overnight. We feel it overnight, but it's been building up for many, many years. And so, Eddie, like, don't give up. You can reverse that. You can get off medication, but it does take some time and it takes dedication because you have to be strict with what you're eating, especially
Right.
in the beginning, so your body can start detoxing. You know, once you have it under control, then you can, you know, occasionally here and there have some, treat yourself to whatever if that's what you choose to do. But it does take time. So, you know, don't get
That
discouraged.
that memory of just how debilitating that was is, I think, it's going to be a long time before I forget that. So that's good.
Yeah.
But it is true. Like, it's just a whole new way of looking at it. Like before, I think everything was based on like does it make you like. It wasn't even like does it make you healthier. It was like I don't want this. I don't want to eat this because it's going to make me fat,
Yeah.
or I'm going to gain weight, or never like when you really think of it, like, I mean, I don't even have words for it because you just don't realize like the other part, the fat part's like the least of your worries at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
But
Yep. So true. That's so true. I can relate with you 100%. Yeah.
and does everybody feel this way? And I don't know what it's like you said, like, that saying ignorance is bliss. But I think the more I become aware of everything, and I certainly don't consider myself a victim, and I don't want to be like that crotchety old Karen that's mad at everybody. But I
Mhm.
sort of do feel mad because I feel like I was just so trusting of of the system of like if you bought some food that there wasn't stuff in there that was going
Mhm.
to hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like my kids say, "Oh, mom, you're such a boomer," but I guess like I'm just that generation where you just didn't believe like that they would give you stuff, the obvious like cigarettes or something, but your food,
Yeah.
or even like stuff. I look back now, like my kids are in their late 30s, early 40s, and I think, what did I let them eat?
I do that. I think about that too. You're not the only one. I'm always apologizing to my kids. I'm like, I'm so sorry I did that to you.
But we really didn't know. We were
You
buying
didn't
things that
know.
said enriched. This
Mhm.
is enriched and that's enriched. And like you thought, like,
Yeah, yeah. And today's version of that is gluten-free, vegan,
right.
all that. Anything free is probably not good for you. You know,
Exactly.
they're
Or like
putting
where it
something
said
else in it.
like fat free,
Oh
then they
yeah.
took the fat out, but they put more sugar in. If
Yeah.
it said sugar free, they took the sugar out and put the fat in.
Or something worse than sugar,
Or
like the aspartame and stuff like
right.
that. So yeah,
Right.
it's best to just stick to whole foods. Stick to whole
Yep.
foods and make your own dessert.
Yep.
That is the best way to get around all of it because it's not going to end because they have to, they have to make money. That's what it's about. It's all about making money. That's not going to go away. So we need to take control ourselves. We need to know what we're putting in our body and refuse to buy the things that they're filling with all these chemicals.
I know.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure. So what's an evening habit that we can do?
ooh.
Anyone have an evening? What's your like bedtime routine that makes you feel good, unwind at the end of the day, where you don't have to like think about cravings? Dry brushing. Okay. So Megan does, Megan Morgan, I'm changing your name. You're gonna be M. You're gonna be M from now on. Alice says, I love cookies, but I always get nauseous afterwards. That's because your body doesn't want it. Now, when I see cookies, I just think about how I'm not going to feel crappy afterwards. Yeah, not worth it. When I go down the aisle of like the cookie aisle or whatever in the supermarket, now I'm like, poison, poison, poison. Like, this is crazy. It's like a whole aisle of poison. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so Megan does dry brushing. M does dry brushing. M. You know, I do dry brushing, but I don't do it every day. And I'm sorry. I'm thinking about my cousin. She's Megan, and I love her dearly. um, I I do enjoy dry brushing, but I don't know why. For some reason, I don't do it every day. I think it might be because I don't have the brush out. Maybe because I have to like bend into the cabinet to get it out. So maybe I should just leave it out. But I do like to dry brush. I just don't do it all the time. Anyone else have anything that they love to do at night to like get them into like bedtime routine? I have something that I love to do. Again, I don't do this every night, but I don't feel the need that I have to do it every night. But I do love to take a bath with Epsom salt. I love it. And just relax there for like an hour. I'll bring my audio book with me and I'll just be listening to it and just relaxing. And then with the Epsom salt, I know some of you said day one that you have trouble sleeping through the night. But Epsom salt, a bath in Epsom salt is really good to help you sleep through the night. It gives you that magnesium right through your skin. So yeah. Kelly, yes, I like doing different hairstyles. Ooh, and puzzles. I love puzzles, but I don't do it before bed. I like using my rose quartz roller on my face. Oh, I do that in the morning. I do, again, I don't do it every day. I don't think I do anything every day except maybe brush my teeth. I do skip around. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that's relaxing for us, right? It's nice. It's like anything that can help you to unwind. Oh, you do it in the morning. Oh, night and morning. Oh, nice. That's real self-care. I love that. Podcast. Oh my gosh. I am a po- I love podcasts. I go to sleep listening to them. So I don't watch TV. But when I get in bed, I put some headphones in, and that's what I do. I listen to podcasts until I fall asleep. Sometimes I end up in the middle of the night having to turn it off. But yeah, I love listening. Because I love to learn. Oh, British mysteries. I'm getting some lavender products tomorrow to help me relax. Yeah, that will definitely help you relax. Yeah, those are nice. Is it going to be like to put it in your in your bath water or to drink or something else?
I'll just talk. I'm
Yeah.
actually not for sure, but I think it might be like lotions and like bath and shower gels, that kind
Right.
of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll know more tomorrow when the lady that's bringing it, she has a lavender garden or she grows lavender.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, I would
Yeah.
love that. I would love that. My
Yeah.
yard is like the concrete jungle. I don't even have grass. Oh,
oh,
yeah. I tried to grow this past summer. I tried to grow like some vegetables. I grew potatoes, I grew some tomatoes and whatever, but it's hard because they're potted, so it's not that
Mhm.
easy. All right. So something else for nighttime routines, some herbal tea is nice. Um, Maybe like a large glass of water with some electrolytes could be good. What else? Well, we said the dry brushing already. I also love a nice hot like the water bottles, the like a what is that called? A heating pad. I love heating pads. I can just, they put me right to sleep. If I'm having trouble sleeping, I can pull out a heating pad, I'll knock right out. I love a good heating pad. So, what are some self care practices that help you stay on track? So, for me, it's walking. For you, it could be maybe yoga. What else? What else do you guys got? What do you think can help you stay on track? What can help you manage stress and reduce sugar cravings? Or
Actually, Alyssa, this is funny. So you just reminded me of this because our bodies are all unique and interesting and funny. Whenever I got really stressed, I started getting eye styes. And like I'd get them every week. This happened to me for a couple of months. It stopped
Oh,
now, but it's only I've been in the clear maybe a month or two, but the compressions always worked, and laying like a hot washcloth on my face for the sty ended up becoming a routine that was so relaxing and de-stressing that I was like, oh my gosh, I should do this every night before bed or just in the middle of the day if I need like a little reset. It was wonderful.
wow. Okay, that is a wow to me because as of December 24th, I've had a sty in my eye for Christmas Day, and between Christmas and New Year's, my whole face was swollen. Like I looked like I got punched in the eye. It got infected and it was bad. And I actually still have it a little bit. Um, yeah, and I do, again, not every day, but I was using my heating pad on my eye, but I think it was just too big. So it was just like awkward. So it was just like annoying because I couldn't get it in the right spot. And then I tried the washcloth, but I felt like it was getting cold so fast. So I gave it up. But yeah, but you know what? I never related it to stress. And I'm like, why? Like all of a sudden, I just can't get rid of this thing. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I got
so funny. I I'm a stress coach, literally, anxiety stress. And I didn't realize until my health coach pointed it out to me that this sty was always around extreme stress. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is such a lesson to me of not always being able to see ourselves clearly, you
yeah.
know?
Well, I heard that it was a golf analogy. So I don't play golf, but I don't know if any of you do. But they were saying how when you play golf, you can't see your swing, and so if you don't have a good swing, you can't like correct yourself because you can't see it because you're too close to the problem. But someone else can see it very easily because they're watching you, right? So it's like the same thing with us. It's like when we're too close to the problem, it's hard for us to see it, but it's so much easier for someone else. So I get it. I get it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, stress. All right. I didn't realize that I was having so much stress. Okay, I gotta look into that. But one of the other things that we can do is the deep breathing, meditation, yoga, journaling. Oh my gosh. Journaling is really, really good. Really, really good for us. You can do it at night, you can do it in the morning, and then just getting a good night's sleep. Getting a good night's sleep is self-care, ladies. Sometimes we just have to leave that laundry or whatever chore it is, leave it for another day and get a good night's sleep because sleep is super important, and that is a form of self-care. Oh, stress and little sleep. Okay. I really got to look into that. I have to think about it. I have to go back and think. All right. What's one long-term goal that you're going to set for yourself? Let's hear it. Put it in the chat, or you can say it if you want to, whatever's better for you. One long-term goal that you would like to achieve.
Mm. I think for me to try to be a little more consistent.
Well, as you can see, I have that problem too.
I was able to share that because it's like, well, I mean, there's some things I do every day, but then things like journaling or just some of the things like, I don't know, I almost have an aversion to consistency, even though I know it's important. That's why it's nice having my puppy, my dog, because it's sort of like having kids, like you have to be consistent, you know what I mean? And probably like the only thing I'm consistent as is my inconsistency. So, but that, she does she keeps me like, I would say 3/4 of the day consistent, or maybe half, you know.
Yeah.
But I think just trying to be a little more consistent for me, it would be something. And I think not looking at the phone at night. I don't have a problem in the morning, but like not to like look at the phone at night.
Yeah, yeah.
But
The phone is a big problem for all of us, unfortunately. You know, it's just like, especially if you run a business, like your phone, everything is through the phone. It's just, it's
Right.
crazy. Like you do your banking through the phone, you do everything through the phone. Yeah, phones are a big problem. We need to, maybe we should do a detox from the phone workshop. I don't know if I could give that. I need to attend that one.
I saw on, don't know where I saw it. It might have been a YouTube thing. I'm not sure, but where they did a thing, and it was a New Jersey school did it up here in Jersey, and where they took a group of teenagers, I think they were 10th graders, and they all were willing to give up their phone for, I think, 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
And one of the kids couldn't do it. They literally, the stress and anxiety not having, and it was a boy, it wasn't a girl. You think it would have been more the girl because they're a little more social. I mean, I don't know. You don't picture boys like,
Mhm.
um, but he was the boy that couldn't do it. And then I think there was like 5 or 6 of them, and every one of them really was glad. And then one of them was absolutely like, what they did do is they gave him flip phones so they could text,
Oh, okay.
which was funny though, because you remember the old way you used to text before
Mhm.
smartphones. So
Yeah.
that was a learning curve for them. But
Okay.
so
Yeah.
they did have a phone and they could text, but not the
They couldn't
smartphone.
go like, yeah, they couldn't go the internet and stuff. Yes. Yeah. Morgan, Morgan said, yes, I love that. Phone detox. Everyone would love the idea and never show up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I always say I hate phones but can't live without it. I'm with you. I feel the same way. I love phones but can't live without them. Yeah.
It definitely is a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
when you live alone, like you and I had this after I saw that show about the kids, I thought to myself, I don't know, I had this wave go over me about how some of the podcasts I listen to, and it sort of scared me because I actually, how do I put it? I mean, I've never been a person who was a fan. You know how some people like, oh, they love a singer, or they're like, yeah, I thought some movie stars were cute, but that was about it. But I mean, I wouldn't like drive across town just to see them or get their signature, whatever.
Yeah.
But I realized, like, since, and I mean, I've been a widow for 7 years, so you think I'd be used to it by now. But I find that the podcast, I look forward to it because I like the people in the podcast. So I
Yeah.
like hearing their voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I,
It's like,
I can relate to that for sure. I can definitely relate to that. Yeah.
like I look forward to what they're talking about, but I actually just look forward to hearing them,
Yeah. Some of them have like such soothing voices. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
That's, yeah, I could definitely relate. I want to touch on Alice's comment because I think this is really important. She said a good night's sleep is the hardest for me. I'm so busy throughout the day that nighttime is the only me time and I
Mm.
get so I end up staying up late just to have me time. Yeah, I think a lot of people are in that same boat, especially when we have little ones, because by the time we get them to bed, it's like bedtime, and then you want to have that me time. Um, I would say try to rearrange your day a little bit. I know you have to work and all that, but um, maybe you could get a little bit of me time before you put your baby to bed. Try you have to try to be like creative, come up with some kind of out of the box ways where you can get that me time because you have to get to sleep. You have like what time do you wake up, Ali? 7:30. So you should be going to bed by 11 the latest. Yeah. So maybe cut your me time down a little or try to flip flop it. Maybe you can have maybe you and your husband could swap days, and he can take care of your baby or your little boy. He's not a baby anymore. So that you have some me time and you guys can switch days. I don't know, you guys gotta come up with different ways because you definitely need sleep. Like that's important. That's a luxury that you need to have, right? That's self-care. Because our bodies hold on to things when we don't get enough sleep. So sleep is really important. Sleep is when our body detoxes, it's when our body repairs. Like we really, did you mean to raise your hand, Morgan? If we really need sleep. Okay, let's see.
I
View.
did because I know we're at the end and I didn't want to. Is that what you just said? Wait, there was a delay.
No, go ahead.
Wait, what else?
I
Okay.
don't know.
My internet's a little spotty. I was going to ask if you have an idea or a recommendation, because what Ali was just saying, that's happened to me and I've struggled with this. And I kind of said this at the beginning of the call, where after dinner, like let's say, I don't know what time everybody has dinner, but like if you have dinner at like 6, 7 o'clock, and sometime after dinner, you're sleepy, you're ready to go to bed, but you're like, I can't go to bed this early. And then you get this spike at night, and then you're
Mhm.
up a little bit too late. And that's why I went for a walk. But now I'm like, okay, and maybe that's the evening activities, that's what you would recommend. But for people, if there's a blood sugar thing or a thought, if you've ever had people that have dealt with that, where like it's too late and you're getting a second wind.
Yeah, so that's your cortisol levels. That's you need to work on balancing that because that's why you're getting that burst of energy. So your cortisol levels are not so you need to work on your circadian rhythm pretty much, right? So maybe getting up earlier so you can see the sunrise and watch the sunset. So be outdoors when the sun is setting. Go outside as soon as you wake up. You're in warm weather, so you can do this. Go outside like 10 minutes after you wake up, go outside for a little while and then watch the sunset. Like, be outdoors when the sun is setting. This helps start to set your circadian rhythm because what happens is when our cortisol is off, it's like spiking at night when it's supposed to be going down. It's supposed to spike in the morning. And melatonin is supposed to spike at night and go down in the morning, right? Because they're like seesaw, they're like opposite. So when we get that second one, that happens to my husband all the time. So cortisol, your adrenals, you want to work on that. And then you also want to have like
Yeah.
I was telling Ali, like try to find ways to have your me time earlier, move your schedule a little bit, from what you normally do, like the time you make dinner, eat, have playtime with the kids or whatever it is. Try to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, I love all that. I think the sunlight on your eyes, first thing, it's so hard because like to make yourself go outside when you're so cool and comfortable and like snuggled up, but I know, I love that. I've done it a couple of times and I'm like, I need to do this all the time. So thank you.
It definitely works because I experimented with that in the summer and it works for sure. Yeah. And even having dinner earlier will help also because your blood sugar is going to spike. Even if you're eating a healthy meal, it's going to spike a little bit. It's going to go up a little bit. You might have that just like a hump, but it's still going up. And so the earlier you eat, the better off you're going to be. Were you going to say something, Ale? Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Any aha moments for today? All right. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to remind you again about the program that I offered you guys yesterday. And I went through my experience yesterday, and because of everything that I went through, is why I created this program that I truly designed to change lives because that's my heart. I really want people to feel good. Like exactly what Eddie was saying. Like it's really not about the weight, it's about feeling good. But what happens is when your body is doing what it needs to do, the weight will just fall off. I was supposed to show you guys this and I completely forgot. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But when my body started healing itself, the weight came off without me trying. Like I didn't diet. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick. I wasn't on a diet. I just started eating better. I just started eating nutrient dense foods and the weight just started coming off. And it was incredible. So it really felt like it was effortless. Let's see. Okay. Let's bring this up. Let's see if I can share my screen. Okay, no laughing, all right? Share screen. Okay, so this was, let's see. Okay, yeah, you guys can see that. This was probably around 2017 or 18. And this is when I first started feeling sick. And I didn't know what was wrong. And this is, I'm telling you, I gained almost a pound a day, like ounces every single day. And I had no idea why. I had no idea why. And then my husband also, his sickness was different than mine and came later, but he was also very heavy. And then I'll show you a more, let's see. Okay, so this, let's see. This is us more recent. I really don't know how to work this too much, so sorry. Okay, so that's us more recent, and it's like a huge change. Between the two of us, it's probably close to 200 pounds that we lost together. And the thing is that it was effortless. Like we really weren't like, oh, let's lose weight. It was just like, we're sick, we need to get better. And then that's what ended up happening, you know? And so, and that's why I created the program, just because of that, because I know that lives can be changed. You have the potential to earn back years of your life. The program is designed to help you lose stubborn weight, feel energized, get rid of inflammation, sleep better, and so much more. And as I mentioned yesterday, I'm offering this for the price of a daily Starbucks cup of coffee, which we talked about is about $12 to $15, which is crazy. But the program is completely done for you. It takes all the guesswork out. You follow a simple plan. You get 6 group coaching calls plus 2 one-on-one calls so that we can get specific on your needs. You have an accountability partner with me. You get weekly workbooks to follow along, nutrition, meal guidance. You learn the process of intermittent fasting, which if you don't do intermittent fasting, you need to start because it is amazing. We do movement, exercise, mindset, stress management, and so much more. And again, I'm offering this for just $497 for anyone that attends the workshop or registered for the workshop. And I really want to help. That's, you know, that's my heart. I want you guys to take control. Like this is the time where we can take control of our lives. It doesn't matter how old we are. The time is now. Right? We can take control of our health, take control of our weight, our blood sugar, and everything else. And with the program, you can do it. So I really hope that you guys learned something from our time together. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Make sure you join our Facebook group. It's Revitalize Your Metabolism. And if you want to talk more about the program, feel free to reach out. We can have a quick chat and figure it out, figure out if this is a good fit for you or not. And I will see you guys in the Facebook group. Does anyone have any last questions before we hop off? Any questions?
It's Revitalize
Your metabolism.
your. Now, would this be like, in other words, would this would be helpful, not just like I said, like I don't even, I mean, I don't care. I do care about weight loss, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's not my, it's like, I just want to be in control of my inflammation
Mhm.
and really learn about that. Would this be that type of a thing? And and then I understand the byproduct is you're gonna lose weight.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah. I focus more on helping everyone feel better. Like, what is the problem? Why is your body not working with you? Like, what is causing the interruption of your body working well, the way it's supposed to? One
Mhm.
of the things that we talked about in one of the other days is that our body wants to heal itself. It does it naturally, but we have to give it the right conditions. And that's what I'm all about. What's the root cause? Why is your body doing this? And let's figure it out and let's move forward from there. And yeah, the weight loss is just a great consequence.
Right. It's just a plus.
Yeah, yeah. So Morgan said that that's exactly what happened to her. Yeah, Morgan. I remember when you posted a picture, I couldn't believe it. I would never have thought. Yeah, Morgan lost a lot of weight. She lost 35 pounds, not trying, but just as a side effect. Same here. Yeah. From focusing on what was important and having the guidance. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Our bodies really, we have amazing bodies, and our bodies want to heal. We just have to do what it wants. And a lot of times it's not even that we are purposely eating the wrong things. Sometimes it's just we're thinking we're eating the right things, but we don't realize what's in it, and so we end up eating the wrong things. So that's why it's important to get educated about food and what's in the food that we're eating and how we can eat alternative foods. Like Ali's great grandmother. That was awesome. I was talking about that today. Yeah. Any other questions? You guys good? Thank you guys so much. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Morgan. M. You're going to be M from now on. Thank you guys. I will see you guys in the Facebook. If you guys know of anyone that would benefit from our Facebook group, please invite them over. I love to give as much info as I can. So I love to see people there and I love to cheer people on. So if you guys take any of these steps, you do it, you're seeing results, let us know. If you make the cookies or any other recipes, let us know. By the way, the cookies were good. I have them with me. So yeah, so let us know in the Facebook group. Keep us posted on what you're doing. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.